Hi guys, in today's video we're going to talk about branched chain amino acid supplementation. So this is one of them supplements where it's kind of been made very popular within the last 2-3 years, and I'm going to essentially give a very objective view throughout this video. I'm going to give when it may be necessary, when it may not be. In my opinion, my bias tend towards it not being necessary, but I'm going to give a few examples where it could be necessary. So I think it's first of all very important to consider that branched chain amino acids are also in whole food, they're also in whole protein sources, so meats, fish, poultry, whey. It's not like by supplementing with branched chain amino acids that's the only type of branched chain amino acids you're going to get throughout the day. So I think the supplement industry kind of portrayed this as almost like a magic potion because you don't get this from anywhere else, but that's a first very big consideration to look at. Secondly, it's really important just to realise that you first need to have the foundation of a good nutrition program in place. You need to have sufficient protein, sufficient carbohydrates, sufficient fat. That should be the foundation, hitting those numbers by the end of the day, because that's going to have a significant effect on your progress. So energy balance does matter, macronutrient intake does matter. So these are big factors in terms of the hierarchy of importance in terms of nutrition. This comes at number one. So that just gives you an indication of where branched chain amino acid supplementation might come in. In my opinion, it'll probably be way down on the list. Secondly, let's look at the evidence. If you look at a lot of the studies showing positive effects for branched chain amino acids, a lot of them, the groups, both consuming insufficient protein. So essentially you've got one group having insufficient protein with branched chain amino acids added, and the other group consuming insufficient protein. So therefore we're almost comparing higher protein versus less protein. So in my opinion, no wonder there's going to be positive effects for the branched chain amino acid group, because both are consuming insufficient protein, then we just added branched chain amino acids on top of one group. So in my opinion, that's where the positive effects have been seen. Ideally, we really need to see a longer term study looking at sufficient protein, trained athletes over a prolonged period of time, as well as measuring body composition. Because even if, just say, acutely muscle protein synthesis is increased, it's almost irrelevant unless there's an improved body composition over a prolonged period of time, so lean mass, strength gains. So that's an important fact to consider, is when you look at the evidence, is there actually any improved body composition markers over a prolonged period of time? Let's just look at a couple of examples where I believe this could be a useful tool to use. So one of them may be if you train fasted. So if you look at Martin Berkhan's lean gains, it's basically an intermittent fasting approach. Train fasted, then you have allotment of your food later on in the day. So technically, by having branched chain amino acids prior to workout, that would essentially make the session not fasted, because branched chain amino acids do still contain calories. But in my opinion, that would be potentially a very good reason to use branched chain amino acids. So if you train fasted, they might be for you. Another person perhaps, this is probably going to be for, say, a competition prep, say bodybuilder, physique athlete. Say they've already hit their carbohydrate target and their fat target, and say they're kind of, I don't know, 5 to 8 grams short of protein. Branched chain amino acids could be a useful tool to fill in this gap, because it's important to realise that there's still some fat and carbohydrates, say in whey protein, a small amount. There's usually some fat in most meat protein sources. So therefore that could be, again, if you were deep into a competition prep and you want to hit your numbers spot on, you were short by the end of the day for protein, you've already consumed your fat carb target, I could maybe see a reason to almost fill in the gap. The people that use branched chain amino acids during their workout, I just see it as not necessary. Some of the reasons are almost to keep you in a an anabolic state throughout the workout. But it's important to realise throughout the day you're in fluctuating states of either an anabolic and catabolic positions. So obviously after eating a meal you're going to be in an anabolic state. When you haven't eaten for a few hours, a catabolic state. That doesn't necessarily mean you're losing muscle. It's more about the net difference at the end of the day. So regardless of whether you're anabolic during the workout or not, it's the net difference. So if you're in a caloric surplus, eating sufficient protein, you're following a progressive resistance protocol, using a variety of rep ranges, so not just strength but hypertrophy rep range as well, you're going to grow. So it's more about the net difference. So to use the argument, oh, I stay anabolic during my workout, I see it as not necessary. Let's look at some conclusions and applications then. So in my opinion, there's a couple of reasons where it may be a useful tool, but the amount of money it's going to cost you, I see it as not necessary, especially when you can use a simple whey protein supplement that's going to last you for a much longer time. It can actually be a tool to actually meet a protein target, which, as I said at the start of the video, is kind of the foundation of a good nutrition approach. Energy balance throughout the day, protein, carbohydrate, fat targets and macronutrient targets. So in my opinion, that would be a cost-effective tool. Moving on from that, I know that if you've got the money and you wanted to try it, go ahead. Just realise it's not going to be necessary, and it's, in my opinion, not going to make a significant impact on your progress. However, you may get a mini placebo effect. Obviously, it's going to be a very expensive placebo effect, but it's open to interpretation. But in my opinion, the evidence is just not there. Like I said, that's the big key thing when you look at the studies, is you're looking at insufficient protein. You're just adding a little bit more for the branched chain amino acid group. There hasn't been any looking at a chronic period of time, trained athletes, sufficient protein. And as I've stated before, branched chain amino acids are not just unique to the supplement itself. They're full in all your whole protein sources. So I hope you found this useful. I know it's been a little bit of a longer video this time. If you want to see more videos like this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Have a good day. Thank you very much.